Hey guys, it is Jonathan here, and it is round 1 of the Sim Racing International GT3 Sunday League. Season 16 begins at the Red Bull Ring. We're driving the Ferrari. Let's take a look at our qualifying lap. Our goal, of course, is to set a fast lap, but we get 4 chances at it, and I've already invalidated lap 2 and lap 3, so this is our last chance to make sure that we get it right. We're currently 22nd out of this field of 51 cars, so we cannot afford to mess up and invalidate yet another lap. Now, of course, at this track, you want to extend as much as you possibly can. You want to be right up against tolerance for track limits. And in the race, you get 20 incident points before a drive-through penalty, and then 30 before a disqualification occurs. And with it being an hour-long race and a track like this one, it actually is pretty easy to run up against that incident point limit. Now here, just in qualifying, we've already put up 2 out of 3 laps, so you can see how it can get pretty easy to be in danger of disqualification. Now, coming into the penultimate and the final corner, we are making extra sure that this lap is valid, as we're 6/10 up on our lap 1, and we need this one to count. Again, we're in 22nd, so making extra sure we're within limits here coming up the final corner. Let's see where we end up. I'm hoping for a top 10 at least, and it's going to be P4 actually, with Ulrich on pole, Philip in second, and Richard in third. And they're all Mustangs, so it's a 1, 2, 3 Mustang, front row and a half, and then Ferrari P4, and Ryan also a Ferrari in P5. As we get ready for the race start, since it is such a big grid, the rule is very simple: you go when the car in front of you goes. And so that's why there's a bit of a gap here, but you see the 10 car of Richard and the 63 car of Philip. They're going to come together here as Richard misses the turn 1 apex. We shoot to the inside, and from 4th right up straight to 2nd. Now Ryan in the Ferrari is going to follow us here, as he's got a really good run as well, but we're covering off the inside. We're making sure we're holding off this P2. Heavy on the brakes, tight angle into turn 3, and on the throttle too soon. The rear steps out, and Richard and Ryan, of course, get that position from us, and we drop back down to 4th. Alright, no harm, no foul. We're okay. We could have been ahead in 2nd, but no worries. And now we're getting lunged by Philip. Oh, man. And, of course, on the dirty line with the cold tires, just barely hanging on onto the edge of the track. Now we have Nathan in the Aston Martin. He's attacking us as well. So from 4th to 2nd to barely hanging on to P5. And around the outside, it's very difficult to hold it, so we're able to hold him off. And now hopefully we can just settle in. First lap under our belts. Pretty good first lap actually, so we have a half spin in the background, but yeah, pretty good first lap actually. No real contact for us, and yeah, we can just go ahead and get settled in. But into the final corner, there's a small moment here. Richard makes contact with Ryan, and we make contact with Philip in the checkup. And here's a look at the replay, just in that final corner, on board with Richard. Just missing that apex, very minor contact, but it's enough to spoil Ryan's day against such a large grid. That is tragic, and that allows, of course, Nathan to get alongside. And so once again, we gain a position, we lose one, we're right back to 5th. There's not much we can do. He's already cleared us in the turn 1. And we'll go ahead and try and get the best run we possibly can. Go to the inside. He covers us off to the white line. It's going to be tough to go around the outside into turn 3. But we'll go ahead and give it a shot here, as everybody's side by side still behind us. And then alongside Nathan, yep, that's going to be impossible, honestly. But down the straight, the Aston Martin, this is actually not one of their strengths down the straight. So we do have that straight line speed advantage. And once we get to turn 4 under braking, I mean, geez, Nathan just really outbrakes us, and he makes the corner as well. Even though the switchback is on, once again, we don't have the preferred line, and this is going to be very difficult to make work. And it's just not going to work around the outside here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and slot back in. Lots of gravel on the racing line as well, and the tires are still cold, so no worries here. Pretty eventful first couple of laps. Now a few laps later, we look to the inside of Nathan. We're actually just kind of seeing how he's taking this. He's going to leave the door open, and we'll go up the inside. And this will go ahead and put us right back where we were, right back up into 4th. So even though he does get a good exit and gets a good run, there's not much he could really do to fight back. So there we have it. We're back up in the 4th, back where we started, and now the sights are on Richard. We got crosshairs on the back of this Mustang, and it does look like we might be better some laps in turn 3, but we're close enough that honestly we're just kind of riding it out, lifting and coasting, saving some fuel. And as we're nearing the halfway point, I'm also nearing the end of my fuel tank, and I'm also realizing, like, hey, this is cutting it pretty close to the halfway point. Right about at 30 minutes to go. This is my last lap. I'm out of fuel after this. I can't keep going. So my main goal, just get the car slowed down, get it onto pit road. We did have some issues here doing so when it was week 1 officials. It did spin trying to get it on pit road once before. But here we do get it slowed down, and we'll go ahead and as well try to get as much as we can out of the pit entry, get the pit limiter on. And then this is when I realized, like, nobody else is coming into pit with me. I'm all by myself here. I did not start the race with as much fuel as I should have. So we might be stationary for a little while too long here on pit road, and that was exactly the case. The McLaren behind us, Cy, well, he's no longer behind us, and that's basically an unsafe release. I better let him go, and so I do. Cy, of course, was in, I think, about 6th, so this means that we're 2 positions down from the pit stop, and we were looking at trying to take 3rd off of the hands of Richard, so that's going to make this a lot more difficult, as we're down basically 2 positions just because we had to take more fuel than we probably should have. Now trying to get that position right back from Cy. I know that we got 30 minutes to do so, so we'll stay patient, but also we'll keep the pressure on. In the turn 4, Cy runs a little bit wide, dips the left side into the gravel, and that is our opportunity to get by. And so that'll put us back up into 5th. And the car in front of us, that Ferrari, that is Andy in that yellow and orange Ferrari. We want to make sure we get that position back as soon as we can as well, because again, I'm sure we lost a lot of time to Richard from that slow pit stop. And as more cars are coming into pit or coming out to pit, we have a spinner, and that's Ulrich, who was the leader before the pit stops occurred. I'm not sure if he took tires or what. Those are cold tires. It's a tricky part of the track anyways. And we have a late pitter, and right on the racing line, oh my goodness. And just checking up for that, here comes Cy. Very opportunistic move, just throws it right up the inside. We got caught out there. He did not need an invitation, and that undoes that work. And I don't know if you noticed, but Andy, when he took the evasive action, he ran wide in that final corner, and there is potential for a slowdown there. Coming out of turn 3, he has to serve it. And so we end up actually not really losing out too much from that exchange, but I do feel bad for Andy. And take a look here. Again, this was the leader pre-pit stop, spinning, post-pit stop. Could have been way worse. I mean, look at all those cars just barely able to get out of the way. And yeah, so cut ahead a few more laps. We're putting the pressure on Cy. You can see Andy in the background does have right front damage as well. But here we go into turn 4, under braking, having a look. We do know he made that mistake earlier, but one of the main reasons why I was so frustrated to lose these positions was because Andy and Cy, I knew, were very fast drivers. So we wanted to get these positions back as soon as possible, but they were not going to be easy. Once again, heading into turn 4, we're not really looking to make a move here. We're just lurking in the mirror, keeping the pressure on, and I'm not sure if that's a mistake or if he's letting me go. I don't know what happened there. Something went a bit weird, but we go ahead and take that position right on back from Cy, and the pressure's immediately on, so I can't imagine he just let us through, and that's actually going to be effective P3. And so we only have Philip and Richard ahead of us as Ulrich spun. And that was basically it. With 10 minutes to go, we move up into 3rd. There was some loud traffic along the way, but I mean, that was basically it. We're going to bring this one home. So once again, Philip does win the race. He does take home P1 with the fastest lap as well. Richard in P2, myself in P3. So not too bad. Nathan in the Aston will finish 4th, and Ulrich will recover to finish 5th. So a really good job there, and we'll see you all in Mexico for round 2.